I don't know what it is. So simple, but she loves it so much still. And they love it very early on. Hello and hi to all you beautiful birthing people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I am a labor and delivery nurse, postpartum nurse, certified childbirth educator, and most importantly for this video, mom of 3. And so with all of that background, I really wanted to come and share with you all of my favorite products for your baby. So I wanted to bring all of that experience to you guys and kind of show you, after having 3 kids that I have birthed from my body and raised from infancy, what things I thought were really useful that I kind of used throughout each pregnancy, what things I wish I had had previous pregnancies even that I just got with Rosie. But I do want to take a time and a second to really touch on how much pressure there is and how much of an industry there is around making you feel like you need all of these crazy, insanely expensive baby items. So when you're looking at a baby item, this is how I like to look at it. And I have made mistakes in the past, so don't get me wrong. Okay, this is expensive. Why is it expensive? Is there a technology that it has that no other thing has? Is it just really aesthetically pleasing, which, you know, I love me some aesthetically pleasing. And then from there, is this something that could be used for how long? 2 weeks? That's silly. First few years? That's more reasonable. What number kid is it for me, right? If it's my first baby and I'm gonna have a few more potentially, then that might be worth investing in. But my biggest piece of advice for you, buy them used. Baby items are overpriced because we are a vulnerable population who want to provide the very best things for our children. So all that to being said, the things that you should spend money on are going to be different for you, different for everybody. But I also think it's important that you are budgeting for services that you potentially might need after baby's born. Thinking about investing in a postpartum doula who comes and helps you immediately after birth, or thinking about having money set aside if you need to see a lactation consultant, if baby needs any chiropractic or physical therapy work for tight muscles from birth. That's where I personally would want to put money. But I do have some things here because that's what we're here for, is this video. So thank you for my really long intro, because I want to show you some amazing things for your baby that I have really liked. Let's start off first with like newborn fresh from the hospital. We've talked before about how skin to skin is so important. You're going to be doing a lot of skin to skin. I don't think you need to buy a whole bunch of newborn clothes. Don't buy them a whole wardrobe of newborn. A lot of times they grow out of newborn very, very quickly. But I do think it's nice to have some newborn clothes, of course, right? We want to have something to put our babies in. So my recommendation still, and I've made this recommendation before, Cloud Island sleepers. These are amazing because they zip up from the top. So it is easy to change diapers without fully unzipping, and most importantly, they have a zipper. Now, back when I originally recommended these like 3 years ago, there weren't a lot of things that you could buy just off the rack, you know, at Target or Walmart that had the zipper that goes like that. Now that's more common, that reverse zipper. But these are nice because they're cotton. There's some nice stretch to them and some give, so they allow some movement and growth for baby, and they're not very expensive, and they're kind of temperature neutral. So I love these because I want to touch on the thing that I hate in newborn outfits. And for newborn, actually, I don't hate it so much, but as they start to get older and wigglier and like driving you crazier with their movements, these dang blasted snap sleepers. I only have this one because somebody gave it to me when we were having May. Had I known what I know now, I would have returned it. I would have gift exchanged it to get something with a zipper. There's nothing worse than trying to snap a baby into something when they are crawling, when they are crying, when they are scrunched up in little brand new babies. I hate snaps. That being said, if you have a medically complex baby, maybe who has leads or wires on in the NICU, or if they have a G-tube, something like that, snaps can be great. But for me, I didn't like. Circling back around to sleep, I really with this pregnancy loved having a bedside bassinet. So I had a Halo bassinet. I had the most expensive one because I really liked that you could take the bassinet part off and move it around the house. I thought I was going to do that all the time. I didn't. That was dumb. I didn't need that part. That part was actually really heavy. But just the bassinet that I could pull, and it was at the level of my bed, was so much easier to get baby in and out of the bassinet, was so much easier to, if she wanted my hand to rest on her while she was settling in the bassinet, for me to do from in bed. I'd always just used a pack and play before with an infant insert to make it a little bit higher, but our bed was too high for that. So I really, really, really like the Halo bassinets, and that's something that you can find very easily on Facebook Marketplace. I definitely would recommend. So to go along with sleeping, I don't have any of them here because unfortunately I think they're all packed away in Rosie's room and she's currently napping. I still love the Halo swaddle with the zipper and the Velcro. It's what I recommend to people in the hospital if they want to swaddle their babies. We're kind of trending a little bit away from swaddling, moving to swaddling or stopping swaddling more quickly. So that's a change that I've seen in the last like 10 years that I've been a labor and delivery nurse. But I do like to swaddle for the first 4 to 8 weeks or so. And so I loved that. Now to transition out of the swaddle, I had two that I really liked. I liked the Love to Dream, which has their arms up like this. And I also like the Merlin Magic Sleep Suit. Those are both considered safe for sleep. Those allow a little bit of movement, allow babies to kind of work on not being swaddled and their startle reflex, making them smack themselves in the face. So if we're moving to bath time, which I actually don't see a lot of videos that recommend things for bath time, this is my favorite bath support. It's by Angel Care, and I love it because it really allows baby to be super secure. So you just put this in your tub and their little bottom sits right here. You can put like a towel underneath or even do a swaddle bath. I did swaddle baths in this. Pro tip, you really don't need to be bathing your newborn very frequently. So Rosie actually didn't really even get her first bath in the first 2 weeks of her life. We waited until her umbilical stump fell off, which is what you're supposed to do, and hers did not fall off until day 14. So she got a bath on like day 15 of life. And you know what, she was fine. Babies aren't really that stanky. But another thing that I saw on TikTok that I thought was interesting, so some people will say, hey, you can use a laundry basket once your baby is sitting. Well, this, if you flip it over, baby can kind of sit back here if they're sitting unassisted, and obviously you have a hand on them at all times, and use this to kind of keep them a little bit more contained, almost like a laundry basket. So this does have double use, which I love. Now once we are in the tub, our favorite body products for babies are Tubby Todd. They work really well on sensitive skin. But honestly, any light, unfragranced soap is great. You can even just get the water a little sudsy because again, newborns aren't that dirty. And then for lotion, Tubby Todd makes great lotions. Honestly, I don't lotion Rosie because she's not dry, but another lotion that I have loved with all of my babies is coconut oil. So cold pressed, unrefined virgin coconut oil. You can use this on little bums for diaper rash. You can use this on their skin. This is a great nipple cream as well. And coconut oil is also antimicrobial and antibacterial, so it can be great on your nipples. So moving on from there, I do want to talk about one container. So I'm not a big fan of baby containers, mostly because they're just annoying to me. Things that are marketed for babies, brand new little babies, like the DockATot, like the swings, anything like that, are not safe for sleep, but they're marketed for babies to be used while they're sleeping. And like, why am I putting the baby in the swing if he's not asleep? Not my favorite, super frustrating. But I also understand every baby's different. None of my babies have loved the swing, but that's another device I definitely would buy used. So if you can borrow one of those, even better, because then it doesn't have to hang around your house because they have a very big footprint. So the one baby device that I have really loved and used with, I believe, all 3 babies is the Baby Bjorn Bouncer. And why I love it specifically is that it's really mobile and portable. It gets really small, you can fold it away. I got mine off of eBay for pretty cheap. And this toy bar, I don't know what about this is amazing. I don't know. But whatever it is enchanting to babies. As soon as they can see far enough to see this toy bar has bought me so many showers. I don't know what it is. So simple, but she loves it so much still. And they love it very early on. I don't know what Baby Bjorn was doing, but they did it right. Now we're moving on. Oh, we're moving on to my favorite things. Guys, I am a baby carrier addict. I genuinely have a problem. So with May, I love the Tula, right? May's my oldest. With Holden, I was all about the Wild Bird ring slings. And now with Rosie, let's just say I love them all. So I want to touch on what I love best for a newborn and then move up to when baby gets a little bit older. If you have the option, if there's a baby wearing group in your area, sometimes they have lending libraries so that you can try things out. I love, love, love the ring sling for a newborn. So this is a cotton and hemp blend, I believe, by Hope and Plum. So beautiful. It's called Floor. I have a thing for florals as well. This is so great when they're little, legs in, snuggled up close. Okay, I love the ring sling for that. I also love a wrap. So this is the Moby wrap. I actually got this in my Wumblekin box, and I loved wrapping Rosie in this, and I would actually breastfeed Rosie in this when she was little. Now, something that I use every single day, multiple times a day, because I put her down for naps using this. I breastfeed her in this. If we're going on a walk, I use this. I can do it on my front, on my back, so easily. Is my Happy Baby soft structure carrier. I love this. Guys, I love baby wearing. I love having my babies close. And when you have more than one kid, it is so vital and necessary to get your life done. So this is probably one of my biggest recommendations to get for a baby. But since you don't know which one you're gonna love, and I think every little baby is even different, it's okay if you borrow them from a friend, figure out which ones you like, and then kind of go from there, or even that lending library that I talked about. I really got into teethers this time around, partially because they are a great tool that can be used to help exercise the tongue after a tongue tie release. This is one of my favorites. It's by Mom Bella, and it actually like flips up so that baby can grab it, and then it goes down over their fist to help them hold it a little bit better when they're younger. And then these are great for feeling around in the mouth. Rosie really loves a teether. She puts everything and anything in her mouth right now. And one of the anythings and everything that she puts in her mouth was the Love Very playmat. I love this playmat. We have had it for 2 babies. It is so interactive. The colors are great. All the different sensory stations that it has are perfect for different times of development. It comes with a book that tells you different things that you can do with the playmat. And so this was something that we used a ton because it even has a little mirror that really helps encourage tummy time. And tummy time after a tongue tie release, which 2 of my babies have had, were so important. Let's cycle back around because we just mentioned tongue ties. Like I said, my babies have had tongue ties. I will tell you, I have really enjoyed these Dr. Brown glass bottles. So this is a really good shape for babies who are tongue tied because of how it encourages them to hold their lips and their tongues, which is what we are trying to facilitate when we are bottle feeding and separated from babies. And the one with the green filters are nice. These filters help prevent gas. I'm not honestly really sure how. They're nice because they come out and the bottle works totally fine without them. I like glass because I just think it's easier to clean, easier to sterilize, and these have been dropped and they have not broken. So I know sometimes with daycares and stuff you're not allowed to have glass, but I have really enjoyed glass bottles. I use them a little bit with Holden, but that's all we bought this time for Rosie's. The Breast Friend pillow is my favorite for breastfeeding. I do like the Boppy for other things. It's great for tummy time. You even can like stack the 2 of them together, which is nice, but I love the Breast Friend just because it does bring baby up to breast level a little bit easier because it's got this clip here so you can like adjust how tight it is. And if you've had a cesarean birth, I do think that the Breast Friend does a better job because you can clip it up higher of not sitting on your C-section scar. So you can see I've got the Breast Friend up right under my breast so we can have baby right there. If I had had a cesarean birth, my scar would be down here. Whereas the Boppy would sit more in your lap and could irritate that scar. In those early days of breastfeeding, it should not hurt. Should not hurt. But sometimes it does. Sometimes we need to work on our latch. We've got a tongue tie. We've got something going on anatomically with you or with baby that is making things not fit perfectly. We're gonna work on it because we've set aside some money to see that IPCLC, but the Silverettes this time around were awesome on my nipples. So these are 100% silver, and silver is antimicrobial, antibacterial. Sits on your nipples. It will collect milk if there's any milk coming out so you can even feed it to baby, and just helps heal them and helps keep your shirt from rubbing on them. My biggest nipple pain, honestly, it came from the Willow breast pump that literally tried to tear my nipple away from my areola. But speaking of pumps, so I think that the Willow or the LB can be a great secondary pump. I don't think it's a great primary pump because they don't necessarily remove milk as well as your good old-fashioned workhorse. Hello, Spectra. Fancy seeing you here. This pump has seen me through probably thousands of hours of pumping. Definitely thousands of ounces because I use this for Holden and I'm using it for Rosie. With Holden, I exclusively pumped a butt ton of milk. With Rosie, I pump mostly when I'm at work. So, this little guy's great. The blue one has the battery pack, which I love. But if your insurance doesn't cover the blue one, and it just covers the pink one that doesn't have the battery pack, buy yourself a $40 battery pack that's external that gets plugged into it, because often the upcharge in between the two is like $100, whereas an external battery pack would be about $40. So I do really like the Spectra. I love it because it's really customizable and has a little light, which is nice. I love now that the Spectra has become so much more popular, it's really easy to get all of the supplies in like Target. So they have the extra duck bills and everything else that you might need for your Spectra. I've never had anybody say, I really regret this workhorse of a pump. So I think that this is a nice one to have, and the price point isn't horrible. And because it is a hospital grade pump, no milk would get into the motor when you pump. It has backflow protectors. So potentially, if you needed to, you could get it used. The last two things that I want to talk about are bras. My very favorite nursing bra, because it has sewn in pads that don't slip around, and it comes not in super inclusive sizes, but I have heard that the extra large, that it's pretty stretchy. So it's size small through extra large are the Out-In bras at Target. And they might even have extended sizing now. I'll have to look that up. I'll put it in here whether or not they do. These bras are amazing workhorses. Again, so comfortable. I've had all of these for 2 pregnancies and I love them. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, this was sent to me. I've already done a recommendation on this, but I wanted to just recommend it again. It has been saving my absolute butt at work. So at work, I pump. If it's busy, I pump and chart at the same time. The way that my breasts work is I have to, after my initial letdown, do a lot of hands-on massage on my breasts to get my milk to flow. When I'm charting and I'm typing, I can't be touching. And so this dude does the massaging for you. It is awesome. And you just charge it, you put it on. I need to chart. And then I can do some serious charting and I can get my full milk volume out so that I'm getting all of my milk out, so I'm not having a stasis of milk, putting me at risk for clogged ducts, mastitis, and also decreased milk supply if my body's like, hey girl, you don't need this? Okay, we good, I won't make it anymore. So I really love the Lilu bra, and bonus points, coupon code for you. I love this bra. Thank you again for sending this to me. Funny enough, they were doing the Kickstarter for this bra when I was still pumping for Holden, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want that, I want that, I want that. But the Kickstarter wasn't sent to like send out the product until after I would have been done pumping for him. So I was like, oh, next time. And then they reached out to me and I was like, y'all, we on the same wavelength. I really wanted this bra. So this is pricey. This is maybe not for everybody, but if you're trying to multitask, if you're having a hard time letting your milk down at work, if you're having to pump and you're needing some massage and you're hoping to get some more milk, if you're hoping to get more fatty milk to come out, doesn't make your milk fattier, but it can help release those fat globules that can get kind of stuck on your milk ducts. So I really love this bra and I think you will too. So let me know if you've tried it. Check it out if you want to. And yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Those are all my recommendations. Have a baby, feed your baby, have a place for your baby to sleep, clothe, bathe your baby. Boom, you're done. Y'all are ready. Just kidding, we're never truly ready. Ask friends and family for advice, ask them for hand-me-downs. Register for the expensive things that you want, but know that you should also maybe register potentially for a lactation consultant visit. So, things to think about. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely let me know your favorite products down below, and until next time, bye guys.